All right, it's time for our first hands-on, practical, real-world ethical hacking problem. I have my old Windows 7 laptop here from work that I showed you in the previous video, and I do not remember my old username or my old password. Well, I can find my old username just by rebooting, but I don't know what my password was years ago when this was my primary workstation or my primary computer. So I could switch users. I certainly don't remember the administrator password for this machine. In fact, I might have never had it. I can't log in as an IT admin because I don't know their password. And if I log in as a guest, which I might be able to do, I still won't be able to see any of my old files. And that's what I really need off of this old laptop computer. So what I'm going to do is show you how to use 2 reboots, 2 special key combinations, and 4 commands that we'll enter in at the command prompt, along with this Windows 10 DVD that we burned legally in the previous episode. We're going to see how to set up not just a user account, but an administrative user account that'll be able to see into all these other accounts on this Windows 7 computer. I can even reset my password for my old account if it's a regular account on this desktop computer. So we're going to see how to do both of those. This will take our first reboot and our first special key combination. That's probably going to be an F2, F12, or delete. I may not be able to show you the BIOS screen, but you should be able to see really quickly a prompt for us to press any key to boot from that DVD once we put it in. So I'm going to pause just for a second, put this DVD in my old laptop, and then we will boot up from that Windows 10 disk with our first special key combination, F2, F12, delete, whatever it may be on your BIOS, to change the boot sequence to boot from that Windows 10 DVD. So I've put the disk in my computer now. I am going to restart the computer. And as it comes up through BIOS, it's probably going to flicker away from this screen where I'm capturing. But I'm going to press F2 or F12 to change the options so that I can boot from that CD or DVD drive. I'm showing you a simulated view right now of my F12 that I used for this next step. But you see I have hit F2, F12, or delete on my computer. It's a tiny little DOS screen on here, but it's asking me, or BIOS screen, but it's asking me where I want to boot from. I'm going to choose that CD-ROM or DVD-ROM, that option C. And now it says any key to boot from the CD or DVD. That's where I want to press a key. So we've used our first special key combination, either F2 or F12 got us into that location. And now it'll take just a couple of minutes probably for this Windows 10 DVD to boot. I'll pause just for a second to give this time to boot. On an older laptop, it'll definitely take you some time for it to come up to the startup screen for the Windows 10 installation. We're not going to install Windows 10. We're going to repair our computer using this Windows 10 DVD, and we'll see how that works. All right, it took a couple of moments on this old Windows 7 laptop for this to come up, but we have our Windows 10 startup, and it's going to ask us for a language first, so let's just come down to Next. English is fine for me. And now instead of installing Windows, we're going to repair your computer. Make sure you choose the repair your computer. You do not want to install this Windows 10 over your old device if you're trying to get files off there. So we're going to click Repair your computer. Next we'll choose Troubleshoot and Advanced Options. And notice here we have the option for the command prompt. This command prompt is where we're going to enter the first 2 of those 4 commands that we need to set up a new account, a new administrative account on this old laptop or any Windows computer from Windows XP, Windows 95, all the way through the newest Windows 10. And there we can see the command prompt. So we have a Windows 10 command prompt running. And remember, this is running only from this DVD, but it's running on this computer. So we can surf to the computer from the DVD. So we're on our X drive is what this DVD is mounted as. But if we do a C:, and then do a directory, we can see Windows is right there. Depending on your operating system or whether it's a new or old computer, you may have to go to a D drive, and you do that with just D:, and dir. But we can see, no, that is actually our CD-ROM drive, so we're back to C:. Just showing you a couple of options for how this may work. So we want to do a dir and make sure that we have a Windows. we're going to cd into the Windows System 32 folder. That's where that sticky keys program is. It's also where the command prompt program is on Windows. So cd space C:/ Windows / System 32. And so now we've just changed directories into the Windows System 32. This is where those two important files are. The set.hc, that's our sticky keys, or set high contrast.exe. And what we're going to do, and the second file is command.exe, what we're going to do is, first of all, make a backup of the sticky keys so that we can have that later. Sometimes we may want to turn on sticky keys, or we may just want to cover our tracks after we've created an account. So I'm going to clear the screen first to make this a little easier to see. If you're wondering, the command cls will clear the screen. And my first command is to copy set.hc. We're going to copy set.hc to set.hc_old.exe. And all we're doing is copying set.hc over to some other file name that we can use later, like set.hc_old. Next, we actually want to fire our exploit off. We're going to copy cmd.exe over the set.hc.exe file. So from now on, whenever someone presses the Shift key 5 times, they're not going to get set.hc, they're going to get a Windows command prompt, and that's how we're going to launch our compromise in the next video. When we press enter, we're going to see overwrite this. Yes, that's the whole idea of this exploit. So now if I reboot my computer on my local C drive, not on the DVD, I can even pull the DVD out of the computer when I reboot. In fact, that's a smart idea. When I come to the login screen, if I press the Shift key 5 times, I will now see the command prompt pop up, and I'll be running as the administrator on that computer. So we'll see how to do that in the next lesson.